Hi, my name is David Isaacson, founder of Merlin's Magical Mystery School and Healing Temple on the web at spiritportal.org. In this video, we'll be going on a journey into the center of the earth. It is a crystal matrix, crystalline grid, crystalline energy, very grounded, very light, very powerful. Very important, especially for people who, in this day and age, seem to be meditating way too much in the higher chakras, often outside of the body, in the light spheres. And this is being spiritual does not mean going out of the body. It means bringing it into the body, manifesting it, grounding it, connecting it into the earth, into all of creation, into the physicality, to the body. So opening up, grounding into the planet is a step in the right direction, and that it is a very light, it's a very safe place to be. There are spirits that reside there, Gaia, feminine spirits, masculine spirits. One may experience nature spirits, elementals, dragons. It's close enough to Middle Earth, a actual dimension where there are beings who live on another dimension, another plane of existence. And so we in this culture have been exposed to fantasy, science fiction, Lord of the Rings, for example. These beings exist in another sphere, many of them within the planet. So as we are journeying, we begun at this moment. You are now in the energy of this journey. As we go down and down, and down, you may, as you go down these different layers in your own body, in your own space, in your own earth connection, you may experience, connect with these entities, with these spirits. And also you may connect with the resistances, the blocks, the darkness, the negativity that you may be holding in these spaces below you. For the tendency for everyone, we all have a certain tendency to store our shadow stuff, our negativity in different locations in our body, above, below, behind us, to the sides, in front of us, throughout everywhere, in order to avoid our stuff. So as we are journeying into this grounded place in the earth, you may be coming into confronting your own shadow, your own negativity. Could be anything. Your own past experiences. You may be storing past memories, unpleasant energies, certain feelings. And And so the tendency for people is to avoid unpleasantness, to avoid pain. So if you've stored all that in your root, then naturally you will be walking around feeling ungrounded in your body and ungrounded on the planet. And this is not a very good thing. And a lot of spiritual workers, people who do a lot of meditating, they like to go up in the higher spheres of energy because it's much more pleasant. It's lighter, they feel better, it doesn't create any waves. Everything's nice and hunky-dory and peachy kino, and but that's not what true spiritual work is about. True spiritual work is about really getting down deep into your stuff and getting into the body and working through that stuff. And part of it is grounding. Instead of going up, going down, going in. And this is a whole different focus. I know a lot of spiritual people do Kundalini yoga. That's a certain fiery energy. That's also an ascending energy, bringing it up, and that has its place. But it has to be grounded. And the root has to be really firmly established. Otherwise, your energy is just going to be going up, and you're going to be still up here. Your root has to be very strong and clear before playing around with the Kundalini energy, with the ascending energy. Otherwise you will be ungrounded, and that powerful energy of the Kundalini will break open your energy field and allow you to be vulnerable to attack from the lower frequencies, demonics, reptilian stuff. So and you wouldn't even know it. You would not even know it, because your focus, your energy, your attention is up here. And where you put your attention, it's not out of sight, out of mind. Where you put your attention, this other stuff down here, they're going to have their way with you and play with your energy and plug into you, and you would not even know it, because you're not even aware of it. Your attention, your reality is somewhere else. So your root, the lower chakras, being grounded, very, very important. So I'm sensing for many of you, you're holding so much stuff in these lower chakras. I'm talking about grounded rootedness, but for many of you, you're so far from that, you're up here, or here, or here, or here. This is, being in the heart is a wonderful place to be. Or in the mind, in the solar plexus, for many men, especially in the Western cultures. Western culture, very intellectual, very mental, but trying to get into this lower stuff, whatever level it is, that's the work. And so we're trying to bring you down more into the body. And granted, within this video, we can only do so much because there's some unique permutations to and issues that preventing you from really going down into your cycling, unfolding into your body, and that's really different for everybody. Everyone has different issues. It's kind of like seeing a labyrinth. Everyone's path has been unique from the day one. Let's say from the day one when you've really been in the body, really been connected. If you've ever been really grounded, that's questionable. I don't know too many people who have ever really, really ever experienced that from day one. But let's say from the point of creation, when you were first created, you were in this place of purity and light, love. And the journey that has taken you away from that has been labyrinthian, and you've been accumulating issues and blocks and negative energies that have created a greater and greater and greater and greater separation from that original point of innocence and purity and connectedness to the all. And let's say from point of discussion, you were created here, and as you've journeyed down into creation and taken on incarnation from one life to another, you've created all these issues and blocks and negative energies and karmas and interconnected cords on one level or another with different people that have created such a confusing mess and a labyrinthian web that is just like the Gordian knot. Okay, there's so much there, and as you've gone down into the deeper levels of physicality, it's just permeated your energy field. And the spiritual work is to unwind all of that, unwinding it, clearing it, unwinding it. And sometimes it's not a cyclic thing. It can be, as I said, the labyrinth. It can be like a jigsaw puzzle, or just going this way and that way and out here and over there and down here and all over. And these cords have to be followed, and the energies that you are holding within them unwound and cleared. And that's the work that we do in our sessions. What we are attempting to do within this video, at least trying to give you a sense of this groundedness, bringing this center of the earth, this which is polar opposite to the higher spheres. Even though this is opposite, it is still, what I'm presenting here is very light. So it should be safe for you, and to at least become aware of it, and that this is a possibility for you to open up to kind of like hold those 2 points, those 2 points of duality, the light, the point of source creation, and the point of grounded manifestation, groundedness. So we're kind of like in between as humans. We're kind of holding ourselves. We're moving in between those spaces. There's different spaces here, up and down, like the chakras. We're moving up and down all constantly. If we are fluid and not as stuck as most people, we're moving up and down and in and out. That's ideally we should be able to go through all of these spaces freely without any stuckness or blocks. But because of all these issues, on one level or another, most people feel comfortable in certain areas. One level in the heart, in the throat, in communication, in the third eye, in the higher spheres, off the body, in the solar plexus, in the mind, and even in our sexuality. These can all be like our comfort zone that are holding us in a certain pattern that keeps us stuck. Again, our tendency as humans is to stay in those areas that are comfortable, and the idea is to open up all of the channels, clearing everything up so that we can experience every level. And in a way, this is I'm reminded of the great actors, those people who are great performers, can shift into one role and one energy after another, because they're open, they don't have those blocks, and this gives such immense freedom. To be able to be fluid in any situation with anyone, and to also have empathy and understanding, compassion for someone, really feeling into where they're at, and being able to understand them from a real gut level from inside, because you know what that's like. You know what it is to be in that energy, to be in that consciousness, and you can see who they are beyond that and below that. As parents, this is so important, to be able to jump out of your own perspective, and to be able to see who your children are, who they really are, beyond your own limitations, or in relationship, and to be able to shift out of, see the other person, their potential, who they can really be. And most people, who are stuck in a certain level, they want the other people around them to be in that same place. So there's a certain level of control over another people to try to make, to create peace. You want everything to be okie-dory and nothing change, and because if they change and they shift out of that, then, where's the relationship? And at that point, oftentimes at that point, relationships end. There's divorce, there's separation, there's argument, confusion, wars. So we need to, as individuals, really open up on all these levels, really clear and open up on all these levels, not just in the grounded way, but in order to really develop amazing relationships and to be able to hold another person for where they're at. We can hold them where they're at with an energy beyond. If we can hold a space for them that acknowledges where they're at, accepts where they're at without judgment, yet also holding a space that's even larger, then that gives people the room first of all, they feel trusting and comfortable, that they can start to expand out, because there's a feeling of safety. And in a sense, this is what I do with my clients energetically and spiritually. As I'm holding this space, I'm kind of embracing them where they're at, but I'm also able to hold a space that's much larger on all these other levels. So it's an invitation that is ever unfolding and opening. Oh my God. Oh my. Ah, boy. Anyway. Okay. I hope you feel get what I'm talking about. So much for grounding. All right then. I think we're good for now. Peace and blessings. Until next time. David out.